Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praises, honor, and glory due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the sincere brothers pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in all diligence, righteousness, and sincerity. To the sisters, the Akwath, listening and learning in silence, to you I say Shalom. All right, so 20,000 British troops set to be deployed across Europe. And let me get this in Ecclesiastes 3, and I'll start at verse 6. A time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. Verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Now, clearly, you can tell through world events that we are not in a time of peace. The time of peace in the earth is long gone. Pretty much every nation, that you look to is in a state of war. Whether they're involved in overseas conflict or they're going through civil wars at home. But whatever angle that you want to look at, the whole earth is in a state of war. And why is this? This is because the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, He has put a spirit of war in the earth to where all the heathens are raging. All right, Psalm 68, I believe. Why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? All these nations are raging with one another. You have America against Russia, against China, against their allies. You have the BRICS against the dollar. You have Israel, Gaza, Yemen, Saudi Arabia. All these different nations, the whole earth is in a state of confusion. And it talks about that in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, where, roughly paraphrasing, it says, but for all these things, because of the famine, the wars, the uprisings, right? For all these things, war and the different calamities are going to come upon the earth. And still, this is to correct people for their wickedness. This is, as it says, scourges for amendment. All right. So all these things are going on. People still in La La Land. People still not paying attention. Like, this news just came out 6 hours ago. How many people know about this? Is this being blasted over the mainstream news? No, but it's happening. See? So the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, He's manifesting the end through the signs in the earth. And it ain't hard to see that a lot of things are going to take place. Mind you, we're only 15 days in to 2024, and pretty much every day it's been crazy. The news headlines have been crazy starting off this year. So imagine February, March, April, May, and the rest of 2024. Lord willing, this be the year that we get up out of here. Lord willing, all the prophecies come to pass, and Yahweh shall return and put down the wicked, put down the heathen, and we can, Lord willing, we be of that number, see the salvation, we can see the kingdom be established. But the bottom line is, major moves are being made between the leaders of these nations. The Lord has them in a certain spirit to be at war. So I'll go ahead and play this. Okay, 20,000 British troops are being set to be deployed across Europe.
Britain is sending a task force of 20,000 military personnel to take part in the biggest NATO exercise since the Cold War. 20,000 service personnel from the Royal Navy, the British Army and the Royal Air Force will deploy across Europe to take part in Exercise Steadfast Defender 24. The exercises will see the UK Armed Forces join thousands of personnel from 31 NATO allies and Sweden operating across multiple countries, coinciding with NATO's 75th year anniversary. Meanwhile, Grant Shapps said it is critical for members of the NATO alliance to increase their defence spending to at least 2% of GDP. On Monday, the Defence Secretary insisted the UK would strive to reach its own goal of 2.5% of GDP as soon as possible. In a major defence speech on Monday, Defence Secretary Grant Shapps also said that we are in a new era and we must be prepared to deter our enemies, prepared to lead our allies, and be prepared to defend our nation whenever the call comes.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to something, right? Towards the end of the video, he said, what? We must be prepared to defend our country against foreign threats, all right? And that we must be prepared to defend ourselves. Now, I thought America was supposed to be the bastion of protection for these other nations, for their allies, right? Because if you declare war on Britain, well, by default, you declare war on America. And really what's going on is this Russian threat, because Russia is rolling through Ukraine. They can't help Ukraine no more. Ukraine is pretty much a lost cause. So they understand that right now, Russia, any day now, they're going to steam through Ukraine. You know, they're going to go into Poland, which I believe Poland is a member of NATO, if I'm not mistaken. All right. They can go up in Poland. You know, even right now, they're trying to get Sweden to join NATO as a member state. You know, because Sweden is one of those countries that borders, is Sweden and Finland actually borders Russia, you know, on their eastern border. So they're trying to bring Sweden in now as a buffer against that Russian threat, you know, coming out of what's that city? I believe it's Saint Petersburg, if I'm not mistaken. That's like the closest to Sweden. Yeah, so they trying to put Sweden in there now, you know. So look, everywhere you look, major moves are being made. So, you know, these nations, they're not taking this Russian threat as a joke. You know, they're taking this very seriously. And notice how quiet as it's kept, these European nations are kind of getting away from America. You know, they don't really trust America's leadership anymore. And this is why you're seeing a lot of these European nations, they're taking you know, they're making their own moves pretty much. You know, they're making their own moves, because in the past, UK wouldn't have just sent out 20,000 troops like that. You know, they would have had to, you know, have the backing of America, because American troops would have been sent. UK troops would have been sent if that was the case. But now UK is like, hey, we about to send out, you know, our personnel across Europe. You know, so this is a preventative measure against what? Against the Russian front. All right. Because they see what America is getting into. They see America. They're backing the state of Israel against the Palestinians and that whole thing, what's going on in the so-called Middle East, which is Western Asia. You know, you got Iran that's stirred up. You know, Yemen is stirred up. You know, no doubt Saudi Arabia is going to get stirred up against America. And, you know, with that whole thing, you know, pretty much all Muslim nations are stirred up against America and Israel in that region. So it's pretty hot over there right now. Then you have the South China Sea threat with Taiwan. OK, that's what's going on over there. So America's about to get into that, too, because I believe that the new president of Taiwan has actually been declared as of yesterday, I believe. So if that's the case, you know, expect China to take military action against that. OK, against this pro-America, pro-West leader that now is in office in Taiwan. China is definitely going to take that territory back. OK, so with all the fronts that America has going on, Europe understands that, listen, we need to take actions to protect ourselves, because if worse come to worse, America is not going to be there because they got too much going on. You see, they're all over the place. America really can't help us. This is why the Italian defense secretary, he said the other day, we need to create a de facto European army. See, that's what he said. Now, notice how America is not within any of these talks. America is pretty much just like on the sideline, because America's been even bullying NATO and the EU. They bullied them during the whole Russia Ukraine thing when it first popped off. You know, so now because Europe does not trust America's leadership, and eventually they are going to leave NATO. Okay, these European nations, the beasts, they're going to leave America behind, and they're going to do their own thing. Okay, and it tells you that they're actually going to turn on America. So this is what you're seeing. This is the beginning stages of prophecy taking place. And let me get this in Second Ezra's 16, because this is I felt like I butchered it earlier. So let me bring it out. Second Ezra's 16, and matter of fact, let me start at 14. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. 15. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. So you see the Lord say that the fire is already kindled. You see? The fire is already kindled, man. All these nations are on fire. Let me jump down. Yeah, verse 19 says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Verse 20, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So these scourges are increasing in the earth, and many people are just oblivious. You see, many people wouldn't even know where to look, to tell you like where the real hot spots and tensions of war are at in the earth right now. They couldn't tell you because they're so caught up, in the cares of this life. But meanwhile, Britain, they sending out 20,000 troops. And when you look in the comments, some people can't believe that this move has been made, which again, this is the very serious time that we're in, man. It tells you in First Timothy's that in the last days perilous times shall come. Okay, we're in the midst of danger, man, dangerous times. Do we even have 20K LMAO? So all of the troops, so see, people can't even believe that they have this many conscription coming. See, yeah, a conscription is coming. Mass, that's what you see. Yeah, so they already doing it in Ukraine. Why wouldn't it come to UK? Why wouldn't it come to America? Why wouldn't it come to any of these European nations? This Russian threat is serious. This Russian threat is jeopardizing the hegemony of Western Europe. Okay, so this is why, desperate times call for desperate measures. Then you got all the refugees from Ukraine going up in Europe. They're having to spend, more money on that, just like it is in America. Just like how America is flying in and busing in all these migrants, right? The same thing is happening in Europe. Okay, you got all these refugees flooding into Europe from North Africa. They flooding in from the Israel. They flooding in from Palestine. From Ukraine, all over, man. So hey, look, the Lord is manifesting the downfall of the beast, of this beast system. Okay, this is what you see in the very early stages of it, and it's not going to take that long for this thing to fall. Okay, because the Most High, He's going to accelerate this heathen rulership, man. Like He's going to downfall. So like He's going to accelerate the downfall of this heathen rulership. Report: Germany is preparing for Russia NATO war. You see, Russia and NATO war. Germany is preparing for this. So this is inevitable. It talks about it in Joel, the 3rd chapter. Okay, wake up the mighty men, gather together the nations for war. All right. So this is exactly what is going on. Okay, there's a spirit of war within the earth. There is no let's all sit down, let's discuss our common interests, let's be pro-life. Nah, man. You see, the Lord has put it on these kings' hearts to fulfill His will. This is why they can't stop. This is why there is no negotiation. Okay, pretty much now it's do or die, you know, and they're dead set on establishing this NWO in these digital currencies, man. Okay, this is what these rulers are warring over: the resources of the earth, world hegemony. Germany is preparing for a scenario in which Russia launches a quote unquote open attack on NATO during the summer of 2025. And this thing very well could happen long before summer of 2025. Hey, Lord willing, by summer 2025, we out of here. You know, we not going to be in America, man. So, hey, Lord willing, the Lord put the spirit on these devils to speed up the agenda, you know. But of course, we know that full on World War III ain't gonna break out until the mark is imposed. Okay, which that's looking like it's that mark is here, man. You know that they may very well push that this year. You know, because the infrastructure is already set up. They was doing they was scanning people eyeballs in Europe with the whole world coin system. You know, you got the Amazon one, contactless payments. Pretty much America is full digital, man. They just waiting on the right crisis, which is an EMP, or, the lights go out or the grid gets shut down, just like they showed you in the Netflix movie Leave the World Behind. Everybody was talking about it. They actually broadcast it on CNN. There's been I think it was the East Coast, only the East Coast, but yeah, like the whole East Coast was blacked out, no power. So hey, we coming into some very chaotic times. Putin's attack against NATO would apparently come following major victories by Russia against Ukraine, according to leaked secret plans published by German newspaper Bild. RT reports the secret German Defense Ministry paper reportedly seen by the outlet provides a month-by-month outline of a possible path to conflict between the West and Russia. The scenario begins a new mobilization in February 2024, with Russia calling up an additional 200,000 troops. Moscow has insisted it does not need to pursue such a measure, citing an abundance of volunteers. And that's one thing about it. See, when Russia calls on its citizens to raise up and fight and go to war, they're ready at a moment's notice. Okay, same thing with China, same thing with North Korea, same thing with Iran. And why is that? Because these other nations, they want to take down America. They're tired of America. See? So there's a spirit on the citizens of these heathen nations. There's a spirit on them to be like, yeah, we ready to go to war. Like, we've been waiting to go to war against America. You see? And then again, they see that America is weak. They see that there's a lot of soy boys in the American military. It's not what it used to be. And the other nations, they can see that. This is why they're so big on pretty much poking America, man. These nations talking big shit against America, especially Iran, okay, especially Russia, especially China. All right. They out there, talking like they gonna let America have it. So we are in those times. But yeah, these other nations, they don't have no problem, mobilizing their military force. But on the contrary, America, they can't buy. America can't buy no soldiers, man. They're short right now. The American military is short in every branch by at least 20%. All right, at least 20%. And that's a big deal because that's never happened before. Here it is. America is on the brink of world war, and you barely have people that want to fight for you. You barely have soldiers signing up to fight in your military. And that says what? That says that the average American can see that there's nothing to fight for. They don't trust the government because all the government has done is push lies. They're destroying the people. They're taking away security from the average American. So why would you want to fight for a country that is doing you wrong on a daily basis? See, Russia, I'm not saying it's perfect, but hey, Russia for the most part, they taking care of their people. North Korea, they taking care of their people. China, they taking care of their people, man. Which again is another reason why the morale is so high. For these nations to mobilize their citizens against a common enemy. All right, and again, that shows you on another layer, because there's many layers to go into on this, but America, they don't really have a sense of nationhood, because you have so many different nations here. you know you have so many different nations here, they're not really loyal to America. A lot of nations, they just come here to America to make money. They want to live the American lifestyle. They want to have the so-called American dream. But as far as what America represents, they don't agree with that. They don't agree with the fact that, oh, America was founded upon, rape, robbery, and murder, exploitation. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have the same nationalistic mindset that these other countries do, like Russia. Okay, Russians gonna fight for Russians, man. But you got Elam over here, okay, which is the East Indian. You got Ishmael over here. Then you got Jake over here. A lot of our people, they just like, man, F America, like to hell with this. You see? So yeah, you have a lot of American citizens, but they don't identify with America enough to want to die for this place. That's really the problem with America, you know. But reading on, according to the scenario outlined in the document, Moscow then launches a powerful spring offensive against Ukraine, resulting in Kiev, which is the capital, suffering from inadequate Western support, yielding ground. And once they take Kiev, that's it. It's done. Really, Russia hasn't even used. I'll just say it. Russia really been playing around with Ukraine. Because if Russia really wanted to go in there full force and use the full strength of its military, Ukraine would have fallen a very long time ago. But Putin, he's a military strategist, so he's just buying his time. You understand? Because he understands that other fronts are going to open up. It's not wise to just throw, everything and the kitchen sink on one front. You're going to have to conserve your troops. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to conserve your men, conserve your resources to fight on another front another day. Okay? Reading on, the report then describes Russia launching an initially covert and later increasingly open attack on the Baltic states in July, which that was one thing that I heard. That was a rumor that I heard. And Zelensky even said it himself. Which now Zelensky, he's not even in Ukraine. He abandoned Ukraine. Now Zelensky is an American citizen, and he's buying up villas, $1 million villas all over the earth, pretty much. You see, so that's what happened to him. So Zelensky himself, he's not even invested in Ukraine. He knows that it's a lost cause. So what the hell are these Americans doing, sending aid to an already lost cause? Which is why they're going to abandon Ukraine. And Russia is going to run through Ukraine. They're going to go into Poland, and they're going to launch an attack from the Baltics, as it's saying in this article here. Okay, this is what's going to go down. Increasingly open attack on the Baltic states in July, waging cyber warfare and inciting riots among the local Russian-speaking population. The crisis precipitates a Russian military buildup in Western Russia, Belarus, and Kaliningrad, Slovakia. At the same time, Moscow positions itself to seize the Suwalki Gap, according to the paper, a narrow strip of land in northeast Poland between Belarus and I can't say that word, Slovakia, Kaliningrad, resulting in riots with numerous deaths, with Russia accusing NATO of preparing to attack the country. So yeah, we see Poland, they're on the front line. Okay. Ukraine is definitely done, man. That's why Zelensky left. You see, because he sees that, listen, it's only a matter of time before Russia gets up in here and they take the capital, and I don't want to be nowhere around. Okay, that's why he came to America, and Biden granted him full citizenship, Salakia. So yeah, man. Look, listen, things are about to open up in Europe. And Europe has not seen a major war on its soil really since World War II. And look how devastating that was. After World War II, Europe was completely different from what it was before. You see, and after World War III, which is going to take place, Europe is not going to exist as you know it right now. Okay, it's going to be all brought to ruin. Okay, and that leads me to this. France's youngest ever prime minister vows to accelerate WEF's Depop plan. Okay, now we know that the WEF, they're plugged in with the CDC, going into the whole CV-19 and all that. Okay, they were behind that. All right, and the articles are coming out now. I can't bring them out because they gonna strike me, but you know the information is out there. Okay, the WEF and the WHO and all these world governments, man, they were all in cahoots with this one plan to depop the earth. Okay, and this is why you're seeing many nations right now. They have they're having what's known as excess mortality rates. Okay, which means that there's an above average, unusual number of deaths that is taking place in many nations around the earth, especially where the snake venom was pushed heavy. Okay, so you can just think about that for a second, right? So let's get into this. On the 9th of January 2024, France elected its youngest ever prime minister, Gabriel Attal, who pledged to accelerate the WEF's Depop agenda. Now, Klaus Schwab, right? He said in an interview, I believe it was early last year, that they have penetrated the cabinets. He said this like verbatim. He was like, we have penetrated the cabinets of many world governments. So, hey, you heard it from the horse's mouth, man. Okay, he already letting you know that the WEF, okay, they're already in the pockets. Okay, they have influence over these Western world governments, man. All right, this is why you're seeing these egregious laws, these draconian decrees being pushed forth, because this is all an agenda. And if you speak against it, then you're going to be demonized. Okay, you're going to be silenced. All right, you're going to be made a mockery of. And they wouldn't be doing, they wouldn't be going to these great lengths to demonize people that speak out against these things if there wasn't truth to it. Attal, a WEF young global leader, was an early supporter of Macron's En Marche in March movement in 2016 and was a staunch advocate of harsh lockdowns and forced V mandates. And what happened in 2019? Forced V mandates. Well, not 2019. That was the I can't talk today. That was the CV-19. Then in late 2020, 2021, they came out with the V mandates. Okay, so hey, this thing been in the works for a minute. ExposedNews.com reports, unelected as seems to be the norm these days, Attal was appointed by Macron to take over from predecessor Elizabeth Borne after she resigned following recent political turmoil over an immigration law that critics said made too many concessions to the far right, according to France 24. Attal was in prime position as Macron wanted to show a government overhaul just in time for the Olympic Games in Paris and European Parliament elections this summer, where Macron's centrist forces risk defeat at the hands of the far right under Marine Le Pen. Okay, so this is just all kind of wickedness that's going on with these devils, man. Look, man. Right now, Esau got a lot going on. Okay, Esau got a lot going on right now, man. You got them you know, um, how can I call it? Them you wish rats, in New York, just burrowing underneath the earth like the rats that they are, man. Okay, you got that. You got war being set up to happen on European soil. You got America with going in on Israel and Gaza. You got Taiwan. You see, you got everybody is hating America. Even Europe is hating America. So look, man, Esau got a lot going on. Okay, Esau got so much going on. He's damn near not even thinking right now. Like he's just trying to react and keep up with everything. You see, but yeah, man, this is the secret counsel of the wicked. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And that's who? Job 9:24. The earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. And who is the wicked? Well, it's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, this is the wicked of the earth. Okay, they're the ones that are putting these policies in place. Listen, the WEF, who controls that? Who is in charge of the WEF? Who is the head of the WEF? Klaus Schwab, and he's a what? He's an Edomite. Okay, and I believe that he's even a small hat. All right, I believe that he is a small hat. Okay, but listen, this is the wicked of the earth, man. Okay, devise iniquity and working evil upon their beds, man. And they practice it. They put these things to practice by their laws, by their wicked decrees. Okay, by their propaganda. These devils try to justify themselves. You see, saying that, oh, we need to depop because cows are eating too much. People are having too much S to the E to the X. People driving cars around. We need to go all electric so we can track everybody. We can trace and we can shut things off whenever we want. That's how they justify themselves. And this depop. Listen, this thing deep. All right, because you had Kill Gates. He said that disease X in 2024 is going to destroy billions, and he said that with confidence. So, hey, you tell me who the wicked of the earth is, man. You tell me if the wicked is not the so-called white man, starting with their elites. All right, this is Esau. All right, the wicked that we talking about, man. Psalm 64 and verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Which again, this goes back to Esau, that wicked root, that man of sin, the son of perdition, the vessels of wrath, fitted for destruction, the border of wickedness. This is who it's talking about, man. The secret counsel, which now it's not a secret counsel, it's an open counsel. Okay, because they know they can't hide the narrative anymore. They know that everyone knows. This is why Klaus Schwab, he came out and said not too long ago that 2024, this is the year where we must rebuild trust, because they know people don't trust them, and they know that the proverbial cat is out the bag, man. Okay, all of their secrets are being exposed to the mainstream. All the wickedness that they be doing behind closed doors, it's all coming out, and it's really all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But for them to counteract this, they have to regain people trust, which is going to entail what? Well, you already know. Universal basic income, okay, 15-minute cities, so-called doing good things that are not really good for you, okay? And those are just a few things. I could keep going, but for the sake of time, you should already know how these devils get down, man. Order, ab chaos, or order ab ko. Okay, order out of chaos. Verse. Let me read on. Verse 3. This is Psalm 64. Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows even. bitter words. Okay, and that's the wicked, man. Okay, they sharpen their tongue. That's what it means to wet. They sharpen their tongue like a sword. Okay, so they're you see, when you go back to Genesis 27, okay, Isaac gave Esau the blessing of what? He said, by the sword shalt thou live. So when you deal with Esau, everything about this man goes back to the sword. Okay, this man's very being encompasses warfare. This man's very being encompasses deceiving you and destroying you. Okay, because when you look at this man's history, this is all that he's done. Okay, all that he's done since the time that he's been in power is destroy the earth, destroy the people, take people's lands, distort the truth. Okay, because why? This man's the devil. Okay, he was set up to be the adversary on the left hand side. Okay, Jacob was established as a root of righteousness, and Esau, he was set up to be the adversary. He was set up to be the root of wickedness within the planet Earth. He is the wicked. All right. Yeah, you have wicked Israelites, you have wicked people, but no, then you have people that were created to be this way. Okay, the Israelites, okay, so-called Black, Latino, Native American, we was not created to be vessels of wrath. See, we was not created to be the wicked. Okay, now we did go off into wickedness because we disobeyed the Heavenly Father, so He gave us unto that. But that's not how we're supposed to be. See, Esau, he's performing his lot to perfection. This is what the Most High created this man to do. All right, this is why, okay, all the words that he speak is pretty much all the words that Esau speak is profane. Okay, it's outside the temple. Okay, this man do not fear the Most High. Okay, nor does he fear judgment. He's gonna continue on until he's destroyed. You know, and even in that, he think that he gonna escape. Esau think that he gonna ride off into the sunset. He gonna get away scot free. That the Most High gonna forgive him, and that once he destroys the Israelites, this is what's in his mind. Once he destroys the Israelites, the Most High will give him the birthright. You see, all of what Esau's doing is to regain the birthright. His mindset is, if I can destroy, 2/3 of the Earth's population, and rebuild myself, then Yahweh will give me back the birthright, and then He'll love me. You see, this is Esau's twisted, wicked mindset, man. You see, but you see, your judgment is already written. See, you can't get out of it, man. Your judgment is already written. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. All right. So like it for that rant. But back to it. Yeah, Psalm 64:3, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Now, who is the perfect? The perfect are the Israelites. Okay, the apple of the Lord's eye. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. Yeah, we're going to give people snake venom, We're gonna cut off the jobs, We're gonna we're gonna play with the weather, We're gonna poison the food. You see, all these things, man. All these things go into laying snares privily, man. Okay, setting up a trap for you to fall into so that you can be destroyed. This is what Esau do. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them is deep. Of every one of them, and the heart is deep. But Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. See? So the latter end of E is 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, and then after that, he's going to be destroyed as if he never existed. Okay, the memory of the Edomite is going to perish from out the earth. Okay, this is the Lord's will. And let me go here, okay, because this famine of the word, and brothers need to know that this is what's coming. This is what's coming to us, man. Because this ain't nothing new with Esau, but Esau been doing this. Okay, but he about to go to another level now because his agenda is being exposed, man. You see, and this guy, Gonzalo Lira, right? He was, when that Russia-Ukraine conflict broke out. I used to listen to him a lot because he would be, he was a real journalist. Like he wasn't some setup guy. that was with the mainstream media network. He was an independent journalist, and when that Russia Ukraine thing broke out, he was giving people like what was really going on. He was giving people the real rundown of why the whole Russia Ukraine war popped off in the first place. You see, the mainstream media of the West, they was giving you something different. They was telling you, oh, Russia's the aggressor, or Russia doing this, Russia's doing that. But he was one of the guys bringing out that um, America had interest in Ukraine for multiple reasons. Number one, they had bio labs in there that they were working on certain things. I can't say too much, but they were working on certain things in these labs in Ukraine. Number two, the most pressing reason was that they wanted influence over Ukraine so that America could go in there and that they could build nuclear silos in which they could launch ICBM missiles directly into Russia. Mind you, Ukraine is in Russia's backyard. So, of course, when Putin learned of this, he said, oh, hell no, I'm about to shut that down right now. So then Russia went in and they invaded. Okay, but he was one of the guys that was very outspoken about because he actually lived in Ukraine, but now he's been taken out. And this is what happens to all those who come up against the agenda of the elite. So this is why I'm bringing this out to say that brothers in this truth, okay, we already know and understand this. There is going to come a time where hardcore persecution is going to come. Okay, it's not going to be no more street preaching. It's not going to be no more videos on the YouTube. It's not going to be no more none of that. Okay, the enemy going to come in like a flood, and he's going to, seek to destroy the remnant of the hopefully elect. Okay, that fear the Lord and keep His commandments. Okay, this is how this man going to come, because this is a last ditch effort to save himself into in his mind, salvage that birthright. Okay, so he got to eliminate anybody who speaks out against his agenda. Okay, this is another reason why AI is getting increasingly more sophisticated now. Okay, and they're using AI on YouTube. They're using it on Google to delete information, to censor and delete brothers' channels, all kind of things, man. Like delete comments is all automated now. It's all done by artificial intelligence. Okay. But yeah, they straight up, took out Gonzalo Lira. Okay, so hey, even the brothers in this truth, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we gotta understand that, the scriptures do tell you that some will be beheaded for the testimony of Yahweh Shai. So hey, you really gotta count the cost being in this thing, man, because Esau about to come down with some very terrible works. Donald Trump Jr. has blamed Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky for the death of journalist and filmmaker Gonzalo Lira. Gonzalo Lira, a national of the U.S. and Chile, died while in jail in Ukraine. So they jailed him. Now, see, it's crazy that I saw this because I wasn't even aware, because I was wondering what happened to the guy. Like, I hadn't heard from him in a long time. So I was like, something had to happen to him. But now I see this. First they jailed him. And it says here, he passed away on January 11th. His family reported his death the following day. So you already know that there's some dirty stuff going on with this. Okay, because again, he was very outspoken against the World Economic Forum, against the WHO, against all these unelected officials that rule over the planet Earth. Okay, he was very outspoken against that. And he was giving the real a rundown on what was going on with these people and what the motives were behind Russia, Ukraine, behind Israel, Hamas. Okay, this guy was going in. He also slammed the likely lack of response to the news in the U.S. media. I would have waited for the outrage of the media, but I know that it will not happen, he said. So we are now allowing our foreign welfare recipients like Zelensky to murder our citizens and journalists. I'd wait for the outrage from our media, but I know it's not coming. Let's see this real quick. Hold on. Salaki, let's see if this
And you should be aware of it. You see, Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, well, the cokehead of Kiev, because he is a cokehead, the cokehead of Kiev is actually a manufactured political figure. He was manufactured by a Ukrainian Israeli Cypriot oligarch called Igor Kolomoisky. Now, Igor Kolomoisky was the man who owns 1+1 Media here in Ukraine. And 1+1 Media is the company that financed and produced the TV show Servant of the People. And Servant of the People hired Zelensky, a well-known actor in Ukraine, an actor with zero political experience or even any political interest. Well, they hired him to play the role of the president in this show, Servant of the People. Now, Servant of the People had huge ratings, but a lot of people say that it was really weird, the amount of propaganda and PR that was done for the show. It was disproportionate to any other show of any channel. The amount of PR, positive press, and all the rest of it, it was really pushed on the people. Some people say it was completely astroturfed. Some people who know how to speak Ukrainian and who have watched the show have told me that it's a mildly enjoyable show, but no big deal. But anyway, the show was hugely popular. And it ran from 2015 to 2018. And almost seamlessly, Kolomoisky, the oligarch, created a party called Servant of the People, same name as the TV show. And their candidate was Zelensky, a man with no previous political experience and indeed no previous political interest.
yeah, so he was a plant. Okay? Which these people that are in these governments, this is why we always say these people are not elected, they're selected. Okay? Zelensky, like this dude, I think when I first heard his name, the information came out that he used to be a comedian or something like that. But now he's the head guy over Ukraine. So look, man, the elites, they set up who they want to set up to fulfill their own agenda. Okay. But where is Zelensky at now? Now he in America chilling somewhere, man. In $1 million mansion, doing blow. You know what I'm saying? As Gonzalo Liro said, he's a blowhead. You know what I'm saying? Let's listen to a little bit more.
And Kolomoisky financed Zelensky to the point that Zelensky today is a billionaire. How many actors do you know are billionaires?
There you go. He's a billionaire. And I brought out the article that say he buying up all these villas and mansions all over the place, man. Like where are you getting all this money from? But again, this is why they had to get rid of the guy, man, because he was exposing too much information. When you know too much and you don't want to play ball with the elites and you have a lot of influence, this is why they pay people like Sexy Red and they pay Ice Spice and, you know what I'm saying, all these different people, because they're a bad influence, okay? Because you have influence like this, which is good, that's exposing the truth, but then you have a lot of the BS that's being pushed by these elites as well. All these people are plants, man. Okay, all these people are plants. You like you go on CNN, all those reporters and broadcasters, they're plants. They've been set up. Okay, they've been given a bag to push bullshit. Okay, that's all it is. And we're in a time now where the Most High is bringing forth what's always been hidden. Okay. Now, it's not that people never knew these things, but this information was just underground. Now, through the means of the internet, the Lord is pushing this thing worldwide, man. Like he's bringing this underground information to the mainstream now, to where, hey, you can't deny it. All right, and I'll end it off here in Amos 8:11 because, hey, they going to seek to kill the prophets, man. Okay, they going to seek to knock off the prophets to somehow buy themselves more time or to take less attention off themselves. But hey, once they start doing that, the Lord gonna raise up a standard against these devils, man. Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. So yeah, it's gonna come a time where the internet is gonna be shut down. Okay, brother's not gonna be, preaching this gospel no more. Okay, all you know what I'm saying, Esau gonna shut all that down, man. And then again, it's not even gonna be safe to do so, because you have to understand society is gonna break down. Society is gonna break down. People are gonna not be in their right mind. It's gonna be a spirit of war and sedition and murder. Okay, all kind of demons is gonna be out here, man. You already seen it, but hey, the time of Jacob's trouble, it's gonna get to next level. You see? So the Lord is going to have to raise up that standard, man. But yeah, these times are coming where this information is going to be cut off. Okay, even what Gonzalo Lira was saying, even if you watch Redacted and Dabu, okay, listen, man, all these so-called truthers, they're all going to be silenced. All right. Now, more than likely, Esau might just come for them. You know what I'm saying? Because really, those people are more mainstream. They're being used as buffers for the real truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to get this, the Lord got to be dealing with you, man. Like, if you really want to receive what the prophets is bringing out, the Lord got to be dealing with you through the Spirit. But people like this, any carnal person that's a seat there, is they can hear what they saying and run with that. But Esau don't even want that, because that's against his interests. See, verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. All right, so yeah, this word about to be cut off. It's about to be a famine of the word in the land, and at that point, it's going to be do or die. Okay, it's going to be either you're going to have comfort from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, or you're going to be out here like a chicken running around with your head cut off and not knowing what to do or what name to call on. You're not going to have no comfort. You're not going to have no faith to sustain you or hold you down in this time, man. Hey, it's going to be a bad case. So, 50, hey, that's a spirit, though. I really wasn't trying to go 50 minutes, but hey, when you start doing the lessons, the Lord puts certain things on the spirit He wants you to bring out. So, hey, it's all good. But I'm going to go ahead and end it here. In closing, call halal, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakadash. Till next time, shalom to the elect.